In late 2019 was announced by President Ivan Duque 3 tax-free days planned for this year, but that was before the economy was affected by the COVID-19 and the quarantine. The purpose of this initiative was to jumpstart consumption and to reactivate the economy. But while the number of people infected by coronavirus increases day by day, the idea opposes the quarantine measures taken by the government itself. Colombia has been in lockdown since late March, and the quarantine is set to last until July 15. The first tax-free shopping day was announced by President Duque and was launched last Friday, June 19, with hundreds of people hitting the shops despite the fears of infection. There are more than 70,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus and over 2,000 deaths, but people didn't seem to care much about. The initiative to enact this measure in the midst of the quarantine and the virus around the streets of Colombia was criticized by many around the world and also by international media that labeled this day as Black COVID, comparing it with the so-called Black Friday in the US. The Bloomberg newspaper wrote, "The measure triggered Black Friday-style shopping frenzies in retail outlets, which reopened in the capital Bogotá." While the New York Times ironized the measure by asking what pandemic Colombians shop during VAT-Free day amid coronavirus quarantine. Some critics urged the President Duque to abandon or at least postpone the plan.
Quisiera pedirle con el mayor respeto al Gobierno Nacional que reconsidere volver a ser un viernes de COVID.
La irresponsabilidad con la que se ha manejado esto por parte de los alcaldes y del propio gobierno del presidente Iván Duque está poniendo en riesgo a miles de colombianos.
But the government said that Friday was a success.
Estamos hablando de 85 aglomeraciones en todo el territorio nacional. Estaban abiertos 73,000 establecimientos de comercio.
And on the other side, 5.4 billion pesos were spent by around 6 million people who went out on that day. However, the president vowed to learn from the lessons of the day. He admitted his idea to organize a tax-free shopping day in the midst of a pandemic was a mistake, but also said that we shouldn't ask ourselves who's to blame.
No debemos estar preguntándonos quién es el culpable, no, es cómo lo resolvemos colectivamente.
But Duque's message doesn't catch people's attention. Colombians are the ones who have most ridiculed the president and his alleged stupidity. Imbecile went trending on Twitter on Saturday morning in reference to the president over the nightmare COVID Friday. So far, President Ivan Duque is optimistic about the tax-free days that remain, while there is a big expectation of the hundreds of people who may be infected by COVID-19 for having gone out for shopping on the free tax day.